With 2024 now coming to a complete end, as we have literally just under almost 2 months now until 2025, and now that Apple CarPlay is now updated on iOS 18, and I've covered a handful of my favorite apps on this channel, I think it's about time for us to summarize them all in one complete video. So these are my favorite apps I'm currently using on CarPlay. And as always, timestamps will be in the description down below for your pleasure. Let's begin with some newly discovered ones, and this one is called RadioApp. The app itself is free to download, and the way this app works in particular is if you launch the RadioApp on your mobile device first, here we go, you have like a classic iconic radio tuner, right? You can slide between every radio station that's available in your region. And on the top right here, let me mute this real quick before I get copyrighted. It does go by region, but you could disable that and go through like literally globally search for your favorite radio stations. So it doesn't matter where you're at, you always have the ability to stream your radio station on the go on CarPlay. But if you slide down, you can see you can search up radio station names right here if you can dial it down to your region. And then once you select a station, you could then hit the star on top to bookmark it, and then once you do that, you could just launch the actual radio app on CarPlay, and you'll be able to see your favorite bookmarks right here, and then just select on it, and you have your favorite radio station you can stream on CarPlay as you're driving. Just notice how it takes a while for it to actually update. And if you know some radio stations by name, they're currently working on it, like K-Win for example. Shout out to the 209. You could bookmark it and then be notified once that station becomes available. So this is a great radio station app as it streams everything to your mobile device, and you don't have to be within range or anything like that. And it's technically like almost like satellite radio quality as well. So that's this radio app in a nutshell. Now the next one is to my podcast listeners. Now there's two I like to recommend, as these are the two that I'm currently using and been testing out. The first one is Pocket Cast. Pocket Cast is a free to download app, and like other CarPlay podcast listening apps, the only major difference is its UI. As a previous app I used to use a lot was Caster, and now I switched to Pocket Cast, all due to the fact I prefer this UI than the other one, as it does support offload podcast episodes, and everything is just nicely organized right here to all the podcasts you like listening to. But my favorite thing about this app is when you launch it on your mobile device and you select your profile, it will actually keep track on how long you've been listening to podcasts using their app. And it has access to every popular like podcast app, and you just hit plus to add it to your list, and then you could also filter or discover new ones as well as what's trending and such. And once you find one that you like, you have full ability to offload it all right here, and it'll be all synchronized to CarPlay. Now the next app for podcast listening that I discovered recently and started using is called Downcast. Now this does have a one-time purchase of $3 unfortunately, but the reason why I've been experimenting with this one is because its UI is more simple, which I kind of like. Less is more, you know, as I could just tap on podcast, shows me all my podcasts I like listening to that I bookmarked. I could just tap on it, shows me the stats, and that's basically it. All the common UI controls are right there. You could increase the speed, go back 30 seconds or go forward, or skip to the next track. And yes, it does support offloads too, which you have to do on the app. And another thing I find myself enjoying about this app is there's no like premium pop-ups saying to subscribe to something. It's just a one-time purchase and that's it, which is what I personally like. But let's say there's a YouTube video you like to listen to while you're driving. That's where Brave comes in. This app is 100% free to download. And what I like about this app is I can offload YouTube videos and listen to it as I'm driving. So I can literally tap on it, and then it just begins playing the YouTube video. You can offload it too if you want to permanently download it.
This video is brought to you by Granger Motors, where you can save up.
There we go. But there we go. I'm listening to a YouTube video. Yeah, unfortunately, you're unable to visually view it. CarPlay doesn't allow us to visually view the content while you're driving for obvious reasons. But this is the next best thing. So if I pause this real quick and show you guys how it's done, simply just launch the Brave app right here. Go on YouTube. And this hour and a half or hour and 50 minutes long video, I could literally pause it, and then on the very bottom where it says the URL to that video, there's a music note with a plus. Tap on here, and now it's saved to our playlist. So if I go back and refresh this, There we go, it just got added and it's offloading it already as we speak. Apparently I don't have really good reception to download this because I'm on LTE, even though it's a full par. But nonetheless, this is a great app to listen to your favorite videos as you're driving. Now when it comes to weather forecast apps, there's two I primarily like going to. The first one is RadAR, MyRadar right here. I like this app because if I'm doing a long road trip, I could just zoom in. And if I'm like heading towards Tahoe or something as an example, or Reno, it will typically show me a radar forecast, like if it's raining and such. But so far it looks like it's all clear today, which is awesome. But if I zoom all the way out, you can see that it marks thunderstorms and such. So if you're planning for a road trip and you're like 2 hours out, you could literally plan ahead and see how the weather is acting like as you're driving in real time. You may also hit the setting icon on the top corner over here and switch between different layers. If you want to increase temperature, you can remove lightning or clouds to include all of this information, so you know exactly how the temperature is going to be like as soon as you arrive at your destination, and it gives you more detail as soon as you start zooming in more too. So unfortunately there's no like 7-day forecast app that allows you to visually see it, because the next app does give you a 7-day forecast, but it just verbally tells you it, and that is this one over here. When you click on this app, using GPS, it will mark your current location, and you can just tap on it right here and it will give you the 7-day forecast verbally though. So that's the only con of this app. It's no different than asking Siri, how's the weather looking like, or how's the 7-day forecast looking like. But this one, you don't have to verbally say anything. At least you can just tap on this app and then just tap on it and it will tell you it verbally with little fun bonuses like word of the day. Or you can play background sound if you're into like white noise almost. Then for social media platforms, the only social media app that actually works is WhatsApp. So if you're a WhatsApp user, you will be happy to know that WhatsApp is available. Target is now supported on CarPlay as well. When you launch Target, this is where you quickly check in if you're driving up to pick up something, if you purchase something online. So you don't have to take out your phone, which I kind of like. Or you can locate a store from here as well. So it's pretty interesting how Target now has an app. But if you ever use the Target pickup service, it's pretty cool. It actually does come in handy. Now for offload maps, Gaia. You guys have to check out Gaia. Now what separates this one from Apple or Google offload maps ability is you can select a large chunk of the map to be saved under one profile. Of course, it's not going to give you like directions or anything like that, but I'm sure if you have no reception or you're just in the woods and you don't know where you're going to end up, Gaia, this is the app you want to check out, because this will always constantly give you offload map function. So to demonstrate what I mean by that, if I launch the app right here on my phone, you see this giant triangle? That is how much I was able to offload. Literally slightly more than half, actually a little bit more than half of all California, I have successfully offloaded right here. So if I tap the save icon, here you could actually see like how much I was able to save. 1,500 miles of offload save data right here, and you can continue adding as many more as you want. So I like having this app saved on my phone as an emergency backup. And then another surprising app finally became available is the Chick-fil-A app, as now you can literally locate nearby restaurants, see their business hour, and literally make a drive-through order or carry out. And you can just go off of here and place the order. But of course, very similar to Starbucks, you have to reload your gift cards or have a credit card on file. So it's pretty interesting. But another interesting app that I would definitely want to highlight is Rocket Homes right here, as you can literally peruse a bunch of different homes that are nearby your location and bookmark them, the ones you want. And the benefit of bookmarking them is if you select one that's currently listed, you could literally ask direction or do an audio tour. So as you arrive to your destination, you can do the audio tour and find out more about that house. But it's an easy way to quickly select a property and just tap directions instead of being distracted and getting out your phone just to make sure you have the right address. So it's pretty cool, and you can share this with like your significant other or somebody else that you like to house shop with. Now when it comes to maps, real quick, I personally use Apple Maps as well as Google Maps. I like having those two ready on standby whenever one is acting weird, because there has been time when Google Maps let me down, but then there's also times where Apple Maps let me down. So in my experience, the best result is just to have both as a standby in case one fails over the other, or you can run them both at the same time to make them fight each other. But one that I nearly forgot to mention is the Chevron app. I like using the Chevron apps, not only because it gives me like points and stuff or discounts. If I spend an X amount, I can get like $1 off a gallon when I'm fueling up. But as you pull up to the gas station, you just open up the Chevron app. You can just tap fuel up, and then as you drive and pull up next to the gas station using GPS, you can enter the pump number and you can begin fueling up by using CarPlay, and then just get out and just start fueling up. I've used it a number of times in the past and it always works flawlessly. Then if you have a full electric vehicle or a plug-in vehicle like I have right here, PlugShare is the app I like to use because I can select the different station that it shows me nearby, and it will tell me the information not only on what station is available, like in details, but also what kind of outlets does it have. So right here, this one has the J1772, so it's compatible to be used with my plug-in hybrid. And you just tap directions. Other than that, there we have it. I'll be sure to include links to all these apps in the description down below, so they're all literally a click away. If you have some apps that you'd like to share, feel free to comment down below and let us all know. And thank you so much for watching.